It's a podcast, but go for it, man.
Yeah, it's a podcast. So, hello everybody. How's it going? We're super excited to get this underway. The podcast. I'm King Carrot. I'm actually one of the admins with Rasputin and with Shadow Killer. And I'm with Sir Jeezy. Jeezy, how you doing, man?
Oh, excellent, man. How'd your games go this week? Did you play any?
Oh, I didn't play any. Dude, after playing in the season 2 opener, I just realized that being an admin and playing,
It's tough. You gotta have somebody there just to with a clipboard or something, just to make sure all the games happen.
It is so stressful, and so all of the admins, we decided that we were just going to stay out of the gaming because we suck anyway. Like, we're really bad.
I know. I heard that, man. I know the feeling.
So just so everybody knows and people what they can expect from this podcast is it's going to be broken into a couple different segments. The first segment is that we're going to go over just some general announcements, just some things that you guys can look forward to as far as the 82L. I just knocked out my headphones. And then what you can expect is first off, a huge shout out to NWA because what he did for us, he's pretty technologically savvy, and he put together a top 5 plays for us. And so huge shout out to him. I would not have been able to do the top 5 plays without him. And then thirdly, we're gonna spotlight a game of the week, one that the admins thought that was pretty standout. And then lastly, we're gonna highlight a team that is in the Season 3 Invitational. And so yeah, we're really excited and we're really happy for the way that the 82L is going. But general announcements, actually, what we got is, you guys probably noticed, is that the invitational ticket is out. Billy Bounceback is officially here. And the cool thing is, it's only $4 in the store. So if you could, everybody who supports us, if you want to go pick that up, a portion of that money will actually go towards the prize pool for the Season 3 Invitational. The Season 3 Invitational, our prize pool is a base of $500, and then I think it's like 25%, if I'm not mistaken, that will go towards the prize pool for the people that finish in the top 3 in the Season 3 Invitational. And also a shout out to our sponsors, ProBuilt Systems. Every single week during the Season 3 Invitational games, ProBuilt Systems will be in the chat, and they will be giving out. They'll be doing giveaways, and I think we've done it a couple of times, and we have like 4 or 5 giveaways so far. I think they've given away like a copy of a bunch of different games, and so I think they've given away mice as well. And so yeah, that's pretty much all of our announcements. Pretty self-explanatory. And now we actually want to show you the top plays from Season 3. So Jeezy, if you want to show that.
I will go ahead and do that. Let's see here. It should be this one. Okie doke. We're going to take that off real quick. Oh gosh, this is going to get interesting. Okay, so... Alright, this is actually a program that I've never used. So we're going to go ahead and try this. I'm familiar with Prezi a little bit, but I've never actually used it. So that's our general announcements, yada yada yada. So here's going to be our top 5 plays. And it doesn't allow embedded feedback. But luckily, on my YouTube channel, or my YouTube account, I did actually watch these previously, so I'll use that instead. That's not the correct button. Back off. Stop it. Don't be like that, YouTube. This is going to work, I promise. So a lot of really, really cool... Let's see. Hopefully I didn't watch anything embarrassing in my YouTube history. Oh no, it's on my other account, actually.
Again, another huge shout out to NWA. He actually approached us.
No, seriously, I couldn't believe the quality of this. This was so good.
It completely surpassed our expectations. We were hoping to put something together that was way ghetto. And NWA, man, he was a major baller. Super awesome of him to come to us and to offer it for free. So we really appreciate him.
Where is it? Alright, I'm going to go back through the presentation. I know, guys, hiccups. What am I doing? Why do I...
Hey, it's our first week. We suck.
I know. I don't even... I knew this was going to happen. Let's just go ahead and bring this back for a second while I figure this out. Because I swear I watched this. on YouTube. I commented on it, so it's
Yeah, I
it
think
has to
it's
be here.
Let's see if I can find it. Uh,
Don't worry, guys. It's gonna be worth it. I promise. Like the production quality is so good.
it was really sick. It was really cool.
It has to be in my history. I don't understand how it cannot be.
Yeah, let me look at NWA. He sent me a link. Yeah, let's check it out. Production value. Um,
Awkward silences.
okay, I got it.
Okay. Can you
I'll
link it
send
to
it
me
to you. Yeah, I'll link it to you.
in that chat? Okay, cool. In the meantime, if you're interested in getting involved in the Amateur Dota 2 League, even though the season has already started and like the teams are all locked in and stuff like that, you can always log on and try to get picked up as a stand-in. People always need people for
Oh yeah, exactly.
to get brought in on your team and stuff like that. So, I mean, every week, like the team even I play on, like we had like 3 people sub in and out.
How
all the
are
games.
how are you guys doing? Are you guys doing pretty good?
Dude, we're so terrible. You have no idea. Like, we have
What's
one
your
guy. I think 2-2 right now.
Okay, that's pretty legit.
Like, we have one guy who's really good. Oh no, the video's private. What happened? Why?
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah. There must be some kind of a copyright infringement. That's probably what happened. Sometimes when you upload stuff to YouTube, it automatically gets taken down by like Viacom and all those like dastardly massive companies when you use like music that's not yours to use, unfortunately. So it gets like taken down. That's probably what happened. But yeah, like our team, we have one guy who's any good, and
Right.
he's very good. I mean, to be honest, he's got like 5.6k MMR or something ridiculous, but the rest of us are scrubs. So if you can like isolate him and, and kill him off, or just feast off of us. So yeah, can you talk to NWA and maybe try and see what's going on with the video, and then we'll just do the
Yeah.
like we'll run through that game announce or the game
Yeah,
recap,
yeah.
because the game was really cool, and it's actually featured in the top 5. Do you want to just you said you had the times for some analysis, or do you want me to just do the like watch highlight thing in the Dota 2?
So
Client.
what we can do, I mean, let me get MW real quick. Sorry. So we can go over the game
Okay,
real quick.
cool.
then. I can talk to MW.
So yeah, here's my Dota 2 client, as we can see. This is the game. It's game 2 between Troas with Attitude, TWA, and Throa. So it's very similar team names, actually. Very sort of hilarious that happened.
Kind of ironic.
Yeah, sort of. You wouldn't expect that. But this was a very, very long marathon of a game. It went to an extremely, extremely late game scenario. And I think that it's a really cool illustration of 2 teams that went out and tried to do the exact same strategy and just sort of let it ride the whole game.
Right.
Both teams kind of did a 4 protect 1. Troa went for a Faceless Void, and Troas with Attitude went for a Medusa, which is one of my favorite heroes to watch. Sort of similar heroes in that they both fight and try and make use of their ultimates, and their ultimates are massive team fighting, like swing the battle kinds of abilities between Chronosphere and Stone Gaze. So I'll go ahead and start doing watch highlights, and if you want to like skip around, you might be able to do something like that.
Right.
Okay, cool. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I got it. If you are try that one I just sent you.
Oh, Lord. Okay, hold on.
Sorry.
Here, I'll just get out of this then. Okay, we'll try this one. Whoops. Oh yeah, it's gonna work. I think.
Sweet.
I hope. Let's see, okay, so that's gonna the video's gonna work now. I just gotta get on the stupid stream.
On stream now, yeah.
Let's see.
Again, sorry guys, our production value is not very good. It's our first time.
Not yet, not yet. It soon will be though.
Really legit.
I promise. Alright, I'm hoping this is gonna work when I maximize this. I'm gonna have to have somebody else do it though. Oh no. Alright, I've got to try and maximize this stupid thing. People in the chat are probably losing their minds on how stupid I am. I know, guys. I know life is so hard. It's just what happens sometimes.
I don't think anybody's flaming. I don't see any flames in the chat.
Hopefully.
Maybe.
Alright, here we go. We're gonna try this.
Oh, also, for us to put your plays
Lord.
into the. Oh, we got it.
Hold on. Hold on.
Okay. Well, for the viewers listening, for us to put in your top plays in the Amateur Dota 2 League, what you guys need to do is you need to send your clips to me at Derek@amateurdota2league.com, and then what I'll do is I'll forward those clips over to NWA, and NWA will edit the clips into the YouTube video. Hopefully, we can get to where we're at not at a top 5, but we're at a top 10. Something similar to what Dota Cinema does. So.
All right, we're gonna give this a try. I don't know. I don't know though.
All right.
Okay, here we go. Hopefully that works. I'm absolutely stunned by NWA's production. It's like it's so unreal. And there is commentary on this, so I'm gonna have to actually shut my face. So we'll just go ahead and watch this.
But gets slowed as well by Timber. So Timber lands him down very fast, and situation by Optimus Gaming right here in right now. Oh my god, this god.
No, my internet's. Alright, this is my fault. No, Desert Internet. Desert Internet 0, Sir G, or Desert Internet 1, Sir GZ 0. Oh, God, I was afraid this was going to happen. Like, people don't understand how poor my internet is where I live. Like, it's a struggle. Every day is a struggle. Especially when I'm streaming. Oh, my God. Like, it's so bad. We should just link this so people can actually watch it on their own time. Oh, God.
Seriously, okay, we will figure this out so we can get it shown, but here, I'll link it in the chat right now.
Okay, there we go.
Oh man, the Nightbot just deleted my message.
Melted by the Snow White Queen's very nice multi-kill Wicked 6 rig on pretty much both of the off lane.
Rude. Nightbot. I'm looking at the stream. I think was it not working, or was it lagging a little bit?
So,
I don't know.
with the fish, come on, dude.
Okay. Well, cool. If you guys can watch that, it was pretty cool. And if you give a shout out to NWA when you're in the client, just like in the guild chat, just tell him thanks. But he, like I said, NWA was a huge baller when it came to this. So
no, it's seriously, it's like just as good as you find anywhere else for any like
Right,
major tournament, without my like crappy internet trying to show it. That's my fault. Don't let my failures bring NWA down, please.
But yeah, like now we can go a little bit over now the analysis of the game.
Cool.
So the team Throa versus Throas with Attitude. What I really liked when I watched this is that Throa ended up winning the game, and they had the Medusa. He was 6-slotted, and so was the
it was Throas with Attitude.
Oh yeah, excuse me. Yeah,
that's gonna happen though. That's there's
yeah. Throas with Attitude. They won the game. They had the Medusa. He was 6-slotted. And it was awesome because the Faceless Void is also 6-slotted. And something that I really liked the Vengeful Spirit did is that every time the Faceless Void would chrono the Medusa, the first thing the Venge would do is swap the Medusa.
And that's I think indicative of a wider strategic thing that we can talk about in terms of the lineups. Because that's such a vital thing that happens. There was one time especially where Faceless really got caught out of the Chronosphere, and it just did so little. And it's one of the ways that the primary way you deal with Faceless Void is trying to have a hero on the outside of Chronosphere who has some kind of a disable, a CC, a Heaven's Halberd, something like that can minimize the effectiveness of that ability just because it only lasts 6 seconds, but it's the 6 seconds that can make it or break it for your team. So I'll go ahead. Do you have like times down? Because I can speed through the draft here.
Right. What I wanted to show is at the very end.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna turn off sound. I think turn it.
The thing is, though, is that the Faceless Void was so extremely. I mean, he would like 1-shot and 2-shot, even like a Timber Saw. And the Timber Saw is known to be generally tanky, and he would 1, 2, 3-shot a Timber Saw, and even the Vengeful Spirit when she was.
I'm in the wrong game because this one. So they did 2 separate games. They picked in one, and then they did. And they did another game. So we're gonna go back and through here and look.
And even when
it's in one of the
even when Medusa was caught in the Chronosphere, she was so unbelievably tanky.
Yeah.
With the Mana Shield.
This and like another thing that was crazy about this game is that. Medusa sold a bunch of her like mid-tier items. She sold a Lincoln Sphere.
She sold the Lincoln Sphere to get, I think, was it the Rapier?
I think she did sell that, and then she also sold like a bunch of other stuff that's usually not sold. Was sold just because you want to try and maximize your late game effectiveness. So we're gonna go ahead and go no broadcast. So do you have like times down, or do you want me to just?
Yeah, you can just I don't have any specific times down.
Okay, we'll go through the watch highlights then. That'll be the best idea. So yeah, I'll load the game up. Then we can talk about the lineups first, just because. I mean, now that we know this was like the longest game, it was like an 80-minute game. We sort of have a bit of a. I'll just pause it right away here. Actually, we don't need to. We can just go through this. Where's the?
And the damage output that Medusa has when she's 6-slotted and the split shot is up, it's just huge. She can. It's 5 targets that she hits, correct?
I mean, it's. Let's see. I think it's actually more than that. Okay, yeah, 5 targets total, so 4 extra.
Right.
Yeah.
But man, I mean, Faceless Void is notorious I mean, when he's 6-slotted, I mean, there isn't a carry that can out-carry him. And Medusa is one of those few that can.
Yeah, I mean, I think Medusa is one of the hardest carries in the game, I think. But Faceless is so hard as well. I mean, we just look at the lineups. Gosh, I wish I could pause this stupid highlight reel right now. Yeah. The Vengeful Spirit, I think, is like the most important hero in terms of like ultra late game. But this game is so back and forth. I mean, we're going to a really late team fight right here. We can see the Medusa's got such huge items, going for a Scotty.
Yeah.
I mean, I really suggest you guys check this game out. It was so sick between 2 really strong teams. That team fight was actually really important. I wish I'm gonna go. I've got to watch. I'm doing this. I'm going
go
back.
for it.
This is. I was like super frustrated that I couldn't pause and talk about stuff. Because that team fight was a big positional blunder. So yeah, I'll just pass forward to a random spot here, and then we can talk about the lineups a little bit. So, Trolls with Attitude went for BH, Faceless Void, Invoker, Disruptor, Leshrac. Throws with Attitude went for Shadow Demon, Queen of Pain, Vengeful Spirit, Medusa, and Timbersaw. So I was trying to decide which lineup I liked better. They're both very, very similar, but I do think I like Throa, the Radiant team's lineup a little bit more, provided that their Leshrac can land split earths. And let's see, Robber for Troa really played a fantastic Leshrac. He played so well. He landed split earths that were just ridiculous.
Oh, definitely. And the thing is, though, is that their team doesn't have a real good way to set those up for them to make them easier.
Yeah, exactly.
The kinetic field is, I mean, kind of from the disruptor, but I mean, it does put a lot of pressure on your Leshrac to land those split earths.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing they have is Jinda from Janata from Bounty Hunter, like, and that's not super reliable. But in a super, super late game situation, I still think it becomes this battle between Faceless Void and Medusa to sort of land their ults, and sort of one-up each other. And I think that I give the advantage to Throws with Attitude in that context, just because I think Stone Gaze is a little bit better than Chronosphere, just because it's more versatile, I feel like. It's such a better counter-initiation spell. Like, when you're faceless, you sort of want to blink in there like a man and drop the Chronosphere and beat everybody to death. But with Medusa, you can kind of go with the flow of the battle and drop it early, or wait until they're chasing you and drop it late and then swing the fight. I don't know. I think I like Stone Gaze a little bit better, but it depends. But as we can see, both teams have sort of gone for a 4 Protect 1 here with a strong offlaner. Troa getting that Bounty Hunter and TWA getting that Timber Saw. So let's see. I know there's a few specific team fights I want to take a look at. I
mean, I personally don't like the 4 Protect 1 strat, because you have to rely just on that one person, on that one carry to carry you through the game. I like running multi-cores.
Yeah, I think that running a 3-core is probably a better strategy in general.
Right,
but
especially for amateur teams.
Yeah, I agree with that completely.
Because I think the professional teams are, I mean, we can't compare ourselves to the professional teams and
Yeah. It's always so frustrating when people talk about oh yeah, Navi ran support Skeleton King or whatever. Yeah, so that's not something we should be doing.
Yeah,
let's see if this is the fight I want to talk about. I think it is. So right now, okay, this is what happens. So Throwers with Attitude are in Roshan right now, trying to get the Rosh for. I mean, their Medusa is totally slotted right now. What she's trying to do is sell this Lincoln Sphere and pick up the Aegis. But they get absolutely found out by Throa, namely by this Faceless Void. So let's just see what happens here. If we can go ahead and oh gosh, that was crazy. What's going on? Directed camera. Give me that free camera, please. Alright, we're going to go ahead and back up, because that went a little wacky on us. Okay. So they get absolutely found out right here. Chronosphere's going to get hit on 3. And just look at the damage that the Faceless Void is doing. But the Tornado from Invoker from the high ground totally disrupts his rhythm. And this is so important. Oh, it's so awkward right now. Did you guys see what happened? You guys see what happened there?
The thing is that the Invoker...
Let's back up and watch this again. We're going to watch this again, because so many things happened. So we see Throws with Attitude get totally found out. Faceless Void gets a huge chrono on 3, and he goes for supports first, and his Invoker is high ground up here by the Secret Shop, and he tornadoes the Medusa. But since he's so high level, he's almost level 25, the tornado lasts damn near 5 seconds. So it gives Medusa 5 seconds where she's basically up into Yules. Was it a mistake? I don't know. I don't think it was, because Faceless wasn't even on Medusa in the first place. But it did keep Medusa alive, and then she actually denies the Aegis afterwards. It's really, really cool, because she's totally 6-slotted. She's not in a position where she can sell the Lincoln Sphere, because she's not right next to this cliff. So she knows that the Aegis is about to get picked up by the opponent, so she just denies it. So it's really, really hilarious. So let's watch this again. So they start trying to do Roshan. And there's no wards out here.
And I remember the caster saying that... do you think that the Medusa meant to deny the Aegis?
I imagine, yeah, because you have to A-click it, don't you? So,
yeah, I mean...
that would be a hard misclick.
It would.
So there's the Chronosphere. There's the Tornado. Oh, the Invoker's actually south. My fault. So Banana Mantis on the Medusa gets put up in the air, gets caught in a huge ultimate with her BKB going, so she doesn't get silenced by the Disruptor ultimate. Starts going to work on the Faceless Void. There's the Aegis denied. It's so hilarious. It's and this is such an important part of the game too. The game gets thrown back and forth probably 4 times, throughout
Oh,
the
yeah,
course
for
of
sure.
it, and things are just it's just like if we take a look at the Golden XP, like stuff is just back and forth and absolutely crazy.
Oh yeah.
But I
And
really
the
think
thing
that
is-
Medusa had a huge farm advantage pretty much all game. I mean, if
Oh,
we-
definitely. She's. I think like even like 30 minutes, she was like 100 CS above Faceless Void. Or something
yeah,
like
and
that.
that's I feel like that is related to some of the item choices that Garchotron on the Faceless Void made.
Right.
So he went for these aren't the items he started with. Back at the beginning of the game here at 115, so we'll go back. We'll see what he made first. I remember. So he goes for this Hand of Midas first, which is totally legitimate on Faceless Void.
Very good item on him. Faceless
Yeah,
Void.
it's so good, and he builds Time Lock first. So he's really trying to be aggressive. Usually, there's two skill build choices on Faceless. You either go Max Time Walk or Max Time Lock. So walk or lock. So you go Time Walk if you want to be a little bit more defensive, and you don't plan on like taking part in team fights super early. And you go for Time Lock when you know you're going to be in team fights, and you want to make use of that double damage from the time
Right.
lock. Whenever you time lock under Chronosphere, it does double damage for this bash damage. It's 40, 50, 60, 70.
And double damage with a 6-slotted Void is unreal.
Yeah, super high. So we'll go ahead and skip ahead a little bit to see what he finishes next. It's a Maelstrom, if I remember right. Yeah, so he's got this
Right.
Mithril Hammer. So he built a Maelstrom second. What do you think about that?
The Maelstrom, I don't know. I've been seeing the Maelstrom getting picked up a lot more in professional games. I know, what's his name? Eternal Envy is a huge fan of Maelstrom. I don't know. Personally, I mean, it gives you 24 damage, and then I think actually Maelstrom and Mjolnir are both bugged right now. So if the lightning procs, you don't have another chance to proc the lightning until that proc is done,
Bouncing?
like bouncing away. Right, exactly. Which
Interesting.
is a pretty big bug. But I don't know. I personally don't like the Maelstrom build. No. I mean, what do you think?
I mean, I love Mjolnir and Maelstrom as an item, but I think in this situation, I think it was a little bit. I don't want to say greedy,
Right.
but I feel like there are probably other items that he could have gone for. He eventually goes for the Mask of Madness. I think the standard build on Faceless Void right now, if you're not interested in like the Battle Fury type items, it's
Right.
got to be Hand of Midas into Mask of Madness. That's really the bread and butter of Faceless Void, especially when you max Time Lock like this. When you do that, when you get this build, you're saying, yeah, I want to farm, but I want to get like triple kills at level 15 or minute 15, and that's the farming you're going to do. And then the Mask of Madness, Hand of Midas is really what lets you do that.
Oh, yeah.
Garchotron eventually does get a Mask of Madness, but he does get that the Maelstrom first, and he actually keeps it as a Maelstrom for a long time before upgrading it to the Mjolnir. But Mjolnir is a farming item.
Definitely.
There's a build I do on Juggernaut where you go like Hand of Midas, and you do pretty much the same thing that Garchotron's doing actually. It's like Hand of Midas phase Mjolnir. Because it's a
Right.
good farming item. It gets you a lot of AoE, and you need the attack speed. So that's what I think Garchotron was going for here. But he's up against a Medusa. And Medusa went for actually even a more defensive build. She went for a Lincoln Sphere and an Aquila first.
Yeah.
Which are really not the greatest farming items in the game, And
No.
the skill build we saw from Banana Madness on Medusa did not include Split Shot until very late in the game.
Right.
So, if we just take a look at the net worth here, I mean, where are we? We're probably we're only minute 13 in, and Faceless is actually farming much better than Medusa is. And that's just sort of the nature of Medusa. It's a hard carry that takes a long time to get rolling. But
Right.
once you're 6-slotted, it's super strong.
Oh, it's extremely strong, and I think I would even say that she's probably one of the most late game carries in the game, and
Yeah,
she comes
I
online
think-
so late.
I think she's like, if I have to pick, like, it's so hard to pick only one hero to say like, oh, this is the
Oh, yeah.
carry, the support. But like, gun to my head, Medusa's the hardest carry in the game.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Maybe you can make an argument for Lone Druid because you have 12 item slots to fill
Right.
on your Spirit Bear and on your Druid. But I
Right.
really think Medusa is the one. So there's a team
Oh,
fight I want to
definitely.
take a look at that happens really late.
And
Let's
the
see.
thing that blew my mind, even in the late game, is like when Faceless Void would hit Medusa, I mean, it looked like it just didn't do any damage.
Yeah.
It was crazy because she, like I said, she would 1-2 shot the Venge 3-4 shot the Timber Saw, but it just wouldn't. She was so incredibly tanky with that mana shield.
Let's see if this happens here. I think this is the one. I'm not sure though, so we're gonna watch this. I believe this is though. So Garchomp has no ultimate for 20 seconds right now. He's super ripped. I mean, he's just massive right now. And I think, I'm not sure this is the team fight, but if this is, we'll see him get cut out of position here. Let's just see what happens. Oh, this can't possibly be the team fight I'm thinking of. Yeah, this is gonna be. Okay, this is my fault again. Yeah, there's one specific team fight I want to watch. It was a mid engagement, so
Right.
perhaps
I
it
think
was
I know
even
what you're
it was
talking about.
earlier. Faceless gets caught out of position a little bit, so we're gonna try this. See what happens here.
Radiant's top tower is under
Is that
attack.
where they take the Roshan Eye? No. Okay. I knew I should have wrote these down.
Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
Okay, this is it, I think.
Okay.
So, basically, everybody's got everything right now, and we're going to see Faceless Void overextend a little bit, just positionally. So let's see what happens here.
I mean, that's what I hate about these super long games is that
Yeah.
just one tiny mistake will lose you the game, and you've invested 70 minutes into a game that you lose. Oh, it's so frustrating.
Did they really just back off? Come on, bros. Why you got to do this to me? I know it was a mid-engagement. Okay, here they come. Yeah, this is it. So he goes on this Shadow Demon, and I don't know why. I mean, he's got the Aegis, and he feels super strong, and he can basically
Right.
two-shot that Shadow Demon, but he uses Chronosphere there on 2, and Vengeful Spirit swaps out the Timber Saw. So the Aegis gets burned for nothing, and meanwhile, Medusa's here with her ultimate, and now Garchomp got absolutely nothing, and Medusa's going to just murder absolutely everybody. Like even though Faceless and Quap and SD both go down, it doesn't really matter because Faceless dies, and they lose the
Yeah.
Aegis, and they don't get racks there. I mean,
Right.
we'll watch that again just for good measure. Like, granted, he two-shots the Shadow Demon. Like, I feel like he thought the Shadow Demon wasn't going to self-disrupt there, because if he can
Right.
just get that kill immediately, that's awesome for his team, right? Because now they don't have to deal
Yeah.
with disruption and all kinds of stuff. And Rework with a swap there is so clutch. Saves the Timbersaw's life, like, totally, 100% saves his life. So we see there how much damage Garchomp did to Shadow Demon. Just two-shotted him, but it doesn't matter. Because Medusa's here and just running cleanup.
Right.
So that was one of the operative fights, primarily because Throws with Attitude had not lost a Rax yet. And I believe they marched down and take a Rax for themselves right
You'll have
after
to you'll have
engagement.
to correct me if I'm wrong, but when Medusa ult and they are actually in stone form, does the physical damage go up by 100%?
100%?
I could be totally wrong, but I know that I think that the physical damage
No,
output,
it's 50. It's 50.
okay, 50%.
Yeah,
100%.
it scales for rank 30, 40, 50. So it's a lot, but 100 would be like
Yeah, ridiculous.
way too much. I knew it was some, but I didn't think it was 100.
Okay.
So there's one more team fight we've got to watch. That we absolutely must watch before we decide.
So
to
what do you
proceed.
think that Throa could have done to win the game? Do you think the supports could have got sheep sticks? I mean, what could they have done to win?
Well, Medusa eventually goes for a Black King bar.
Yeah, she does.
So you must get. I mean, basically, there's not like a single counter. Both teams have picked strategies that are 4 Protect 1. So it's sort of in the late game, it's all on their Faceless Void to land that Chronosphere.
Right.
Basically, they've just because Medusa is so tanky with the Mana Shield, and she gets Scotty, and as we can see, a Divine Rapier here late in the game, which is why this was probably the most exciting game to watch out of the first week. Because she is so tanky, they've got to hope for a Chronosphere where Faceless Void can isolate all of the members of TWA and not disable any of his teammates. They're all free to right-click on the Medusa.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
And the
that's
thing
sort of
is-
what they had to do. Medusa's
thing
a hero
is-
that you must hurt early on, but she's so vulnerable early to like anything. She's got so
Yeah.
little early on. in
Even
the
to like
game.
minute 25, minute 30,
Yeah.
she's pretty vulnerable.
So weak. I mean, the only thing she has is Stone Gaze, and if you have to gank her like twice every 2 minutes or 3
yeah.
minutes or whatever the cooldown is at level 1. I mean, it's huge. So I know we're approaching this team fight here. So we'll go ahead and do. We'll just do a free camera here because I want to do it. So both teams smoke up. We're going to see
Oh, that's
TWA
right.
come back into their base and smoke up. So we see Throw is up here smoked, and they're all spread out. This is something I absolutely hate. Ugh. You cannot be spread out when you smoke. You really have to be together. They get a Spire Ward up, which is really nice, and TWA is going to 5-man smoke themselves. I think that Throwa's smoke does expire. Yeah, so throws that, you're going to smoke through the jungle. Ooh, they gotta stay together, stay together, stay together. And Medusa, this is actually one time where you want one hero out, and that's your Medusa. Because her ultimate is so important, she can't get caught out. So they're going to lead with their Shadow Demon, like the most worthless hero on the map. Then the Timbersaw cuts through the woods, so they get this fantastic initiation. Banana Manus gets caught in the Chronosphere, but everybody is all spread out. They can't focus her at all. And Garchotron is trying to kill on supports, but Banana Manus on the Medusa is killing the entire team. Just doing so much damage with that Rapier. And Timbersaw actually gets a solo kill on the Faceless with that Blade Mail because the Faceless Void doesn't have a BKB. And that's the game-ending team fight right there. And
Exactly.
like there's so many cool things that happen in this team fight, but it's like it's hard to see them all at once. So the first
Right.
really cool thing is both teams smoke. That's really hilarious. Late smoke is so pivotal because it's all about that one team fight. If you win or lose the one team fight, it's over. Like you can't, once your buybacks are burned, you got one shot. You got one chance to do
Exactly.
it. So I'm gonna
And
try
the thing is also is that TWA was down a Rax, but a Rax to Medusa, a 6-slot Medusa means nothing. It means
Yeah.
like she has to shoot one more time
Yep.
to kill the creeps. I mean,
yeah,
two
Medusa.
and 3 Raxes is when it gets kind of tough, but
Yeah.
it was a piece of cake for her.
Yeah, and if you look at the items for Medusa, she has sold a lot of her less important items like a Lincoln Sphere. She sold a Manta Style, in fact, for the BKB
Yeah.
because she knew that it was more important to have that BKB. But one of the really cool things here is that JA on this Timbersaw notices that all 5 heroes are really, really tightly clustered here, with the exception of... no, this is all of them, actually. As you can see, someone sort of hiding under the disruptor there. He notices they're all super clumped, so he just cuts through all of these trees. And that's so smart. Like,
Oh yeah.
it saves his team. There's so much more in a direct path straight to the opponents because they're really, really vulnerable right now. Like, so many... Like, this is so bad. This is so not what you want to have. So see, the trees get cut down, and now everybody can run straight in. But Banana Manus' path is much shorter. And now, it seems like the entire team for Throw-In knows that, like, bad things are about to happen because they've gone different directions. Like, Garchotron and someone run this way, like, it's like, no, please, no. And everybody else runs back to the left. And it's so ugly, and there's a really good swap as well, I believe. So Faceless comes back and decides, okay, we're going to try and get a Chronosphere here. But he can only get, I think he tries to get the Timbersaw, but the Timbersaw is moving to the north.
Yeah.
And I think he misses Timbersaw. Yeah, just barely misses Timbersaw. And we can see the Vengeful Spirit running away, and that's going to drag the Faceless Void way back. Does Vengeful have... What items does she have? So the Sheepstick on Timbersaw is actually really important too, because I think we're going to see... Yeah, we see Timbersaw comes back because he's not under Chrono and manages to sheep Faceless Void. And this is the way you counter Faceless Void, because now the Chronosphere is going, and a big source of his DPS and Time Lock is minimized, and a big source of your own team's vulnerability is eliminated because they're all safe now. Faceless is the only hero that can really feasibly get in there and murder them, but now he's a pig, so it doesn't really matter. So that's a fantastic play from the Timbersaw there, and I think we're even going to see the Vengeful Spirit swap out somebody here. No? Okay. Maybe not. Just going to try and disable the Faceless Void as much as possible, and because they know their Medusa's going to be able to kill everybody in a matter of seconds with that Divine.
Right.
And Faceless gets tunnel vision on the Timbersaw and dies, and that's sort of what ends the game. But it's a really, really phenomenal game. If you want a chance to take a look at it, I know there's
Yeah, it really was. I mean, closing thoughts on it. Looking back at it now, I really like TWA's draft. I mean, they have 2 ways to deal with the Chronosphere. You can disrupt the person that's under the chronosphere if the Shadow Demon isn't in the chronosphere, and then they can also swap out the person that's chronosphered as well. And so I really liked TWA's draft. They deserve to win. I think they did a really good job.
Yeah, I think they secured so much farm for their Medusa. So it's like sometimes in strategy games when people pick the same strategy or different strategies, the games kind of develop differently. It's sort of like a light fast like jabbing boxer against like a big like muscular Mike Tyson kind of like brawling kind of player, person. But they both tried to play the same way, which is a 4 protect 1 on a really hard carry who has a gigantic team fighting ultimate. And I think that TWA just did it a little bit better. Their Medusa had a much safer farm, was able to get in the jungle a lot earlier. But yeah, it was a really, really great game. If you have a chance to take a look at it, I thought it was great.
Yeah. Okay. So for the last portion of the podcast is what I said before is we do a team spotlight. One of the teams that's participating in the 82L Invitational, and I've actually talked to Frogs from TMG, from Tempest Gaming.
Yeah, I remember them.
We are going to get him on the line right now.
Cool.
Real quick.
They played. Were they in the finals for these?
Yeah, they were in the finals with Annie.
Okay. I remember those.
And they went to game 5 and they lost it. They got second.
I remember that.
It was a sick game. Let's see.
Didn't they do a push strat as their 5th game? I don't know. Maybe I'll have to ask him. I'm sure he'll remember.
Yeah, we'll have to ask him. If
I think they did. I think they did something kind of cheeky.
you have Skype, right, Jeezy?
Yes.
Let me get a Skype.
Okay. Does he not have? I
He
really
says
like
he
this.
has-
Is my first time using the Google Hangout voice chat. I thought that
Oh,
worked
really?
really well.
It's cool. Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
I'm getting the username from him right now. I don't even have Skype. I mean, what do you have to do? I mean, when you have Skype, what do you use to... I mean, what do you need to be able to call him? Just his username?
Yeah, that should be it. But if we do Skype, and this is going to get
Then I won't be able to.
real crazy. We'll probably not have him on camera. We'll probably just have him on the Skype.
Right. That's fine.
That would be.
Am I gonna be able to hear him, or am I not? If I'm on Google Hangout, I won't be able to, will I?
No. I might even need to update Skype right now. It might even be.
Okay.
This is episode 1, man. It's like Star Wars. Episode 1 is the worst. Oh, see what I did there. Yeah, my Skype is auto-updating. I had no choice in this matter. And I loaded Skype like yesterday. They must have just put out an update. I have Dolby Axon though. We could use Axon. Just saying.
Okay, yeah, he's getting... What's the Gmail?
I feel like that's the best option to get him on that, or on this rather.
Right.
So, can you tell me exactly how many teams are in the Open right now? I don't know the exact number.
Oh my
I know
gosh,
it's like
I
over
don't even...
100, right?
I think it's like 100 and... I mean, there's obviously going to be like 30% of the teams that don't show up at all. And
Like
that's
2
super
people got
frustrating.
together and like tried to recruit people after they signed up.
Right. But I think there's like 100 and... I'm guessing, like 140, 150.
Jesus, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah. I sent you a message in the...
Okay, my Skype's actually working now. There we go.
Oh, it is working?
Let's see.
For the thing, I don't even have Skype, so if we do Skype, then I'm screwed.
Okay. Alright, I think I got him. Let me see
Okay.
here.
Just have to add him in the call.
Are you able to get him on the Hangout thing?
Yeah, I'm trying to get him right now. Let's see. Settings. Let's see. Okay, I'm calling him.
Can you add him to this call as well? That'd be neat.
I'm trying to figure out how to do that. How do you add people to a call? Can I just go to the settings, obviously?
Episode 1.
Got it. Okay, gotta figure out how to do this.
We could try and use the Steam one. Steam has
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, we can try to do that.
Okay.
Let's
Give
see.
that a shot.
Good call. Like, still voice chat. Hey, Frogs, are you there? I can hear you. Okay, here, let me add a GZ to it. Voice chat.
I'm gonna go ahead and mute the Hangout one because I don't want to have this
Right.
reverb on us. In fact, I might just yeah, I'll just hang up on the Hangout one right now. So there we go. It's just me now. Hold on. Wait. Be patient. Don't look at me like that. You wait. Here we go. There's the background. See? Now we're back to things, normal things. We're gonna get into the